Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to attract wealth and success effortlessly, while others, despite working hard, feel stuck in a cycle that never ends? It's not always about the money they started with. It's not about luck, inheritance, or being born into privilege. It's about the habits, the small, intentional, invisible things they do every single day. This is what truly separates millionaires from the average. Today, you're going to walk through a full day in the life of a millionaire. Not fiction, not fantasy, but real habits, real decisions, and real mindset patterns that create financial freedom and lasting wealth. Let's begin. A millionaire's day doesn't begin by reacting. It begins with direction. The moment they open their eyes, they're not reaching for Instagram or checking emails in bed. They start with presence. There's a morning routine, simple but powerful. A few deep breaths to reconnect with clarity, a moment of stillness, meditation, or prayer to return to purpose. Then, they set the tone for the day with intentional journaling, gratitude for what they have, vision for where they're going, and laser-sharp focus on the kind of energy they want to embody today. Because wealthy people don't just set goals. They set their frequency. Then they feed the mind before the world has a chance to pollute it. It might be a chapter from a powerful book or a short podcast from a mentor they respect, but always something that expands their thinking and sharpens their perspective. Millionaires guard their first hour like gold because they know how you start your day is how you shape your destiny. After setting their mind, they move the body. Wealthy individuals understand that energy is currency. A strong body fuels strong decisions. So they move, whether it's a gym session, a run, or even just a walk outside. Not because it's trendy, but because it disciplines the mind. They don't treat their mornings casually. They treat them like sacred rituals for success. Once the body and mind are primed, the day shifts into action. But here's what's different. Millionaires don't confuse busyness with productivity. They don't brag about being overwhelmed or booked every minute. Instead, they schedule deep work blocks, protected time for focus. No distractions, no notifications, just execution on what matters most. They understand the difference between urgent and important, and they choose important every single time. They don't just do things. They build things. Assets, systems, leverage, legacy. They ask, what can I create today that will continue working even when I stop? That's the mindset of wealth. They delegate, not because they're lazy, but because they respect their time. Millionaires don't try to do it all. They identify their zone of genius and double down on it. Everything else, they systemize, automate, or delegate. They think in terms of scale. How can this reach more people? How can this run without me? It's not about ego. It's about efficiency. Because time is the only non-renewable resource. Midday, they take a pause, not to scroll endlessly, but to recharge and reflect. Often, they'll walk, read, or reconnect with their vision. Some even nap, not out of laziness, but as a strategic tool for clarity. They understand that creativity doesn't come from burnout. It comes from rhythm. They invest in their energy the way most people invest in entertainment. In the afternoon, connection becomes the focus. Millionaires know you don't build wealth in isolation. You build it through people, conversations, partnerships. They take meetings, but not just any meetings. They're intentional. They surround themselves with thinkers, doers, builders, people who challenge them, stretch them, inspire them. They don't gossip. They don't waste time talking about others. They talk about ideas, visions, strategy, legacy, because you become like the people you're around the most. So they choose their circle carefully. They also mentor. They give back. Because the wealthy understand, the more you lift others, the more you rise yourself. Contribution is not optional. It's embedded in who they are. Wealth without generosity is just greed. Real success uplifts others. As the evening arrives, millionaires begin to slow down with purpose. They don't crash onto the couch and binge for hours. They reflect. What did I create today? What did I learn? What am I grateful for? They prepare for tomorrow, not react to it. They might spend time with family, dive into a passion project, or simply rest. But whatever they do, it's intentional, because presence is the highest form of wealth. At night, they disconnect from noise. No doom scrolling. No anxious emails at midnight. They protect their minds before sleep, because the subconscious is powerful. Many review their goals. Visualize success. Read. Meditate. Pray. They sleep with peace, not pressure, because they've already done what matters most. Now, here's what you don't see on the outside. The invisible habits that millionaires carry with them. They question everything. They challenge their assumptions. They ask, is this moving me closer to who I want to become? They don't fear failure. They fear regret. They're not obsessed with looking rich. They're committed to becoming rich in mind, in values, in freedom. They track their finances. They invest strategically. They play long-term games. They don't chase trends. They create timeless value. And, perhaps most importantly, they think differently about money, not as something to be feared, not as something to hoard, but as a tool, a resource, a reflection of value created and lives touched. They know that real wealth isn't in what you own. It's in what you understand, who you become, and how you live. So now that you've seen what a day in their life looks like, what will you do with it? Because the habits of the wealthy are not out of reach. They're not exclusive. They're not reserved for the lucky. They're available to you, to anyone, right now. Start with one change, one shift, one habit, and do it every single day until you become unrecognizable from who you used to be. The life you dream of is not built in one day, but it is built day by day. So live today like the millionaire version of you would, because the future belongs to those who build it on purpose.